All right, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. The time is 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call this regular town board meeting to order by asking everybody to please rise and say the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Again, good evening, everybody. Public comments on or questions on agenda items only. Is there anybody in the crowd tonight that would like to come up and ask a question about an agenda item? Seeing nobody approaching the podium, we'll go right into the reports. Recreation Department, Julie Muncy.
Hi, I'm Julie Muncy from Dover Recreation. I'd like to start out by saying that the Boys Park Pond construction project will not be totally finished until spring of 2025. We have to wait till everything dries and settles. With that being said, I'd like to thank Jason and Nick and all the guys from Highway for all the work that they've been doing down there on the project, as well as all the other things I asked them to do throughout the year. And they're very gracious about helping me out. I want you, as most of you know, a little mishap happened with the long arm, the machinery getting stuck in the mud, almost going in the pond. But I do want to thank Rich Savarese and Savarese Septic, who came within about 20 minutes of the incident and helped rig the machinery, rig up the machinery so it doesn't go any farther until it got pulled out. So they were there right away. So I want to thank them. I also want to thank, basically the generosity of the local businesses and owners throughout the last couple months who have helped make this project come about. The next thing I have is Dover Day, which is in a few weeks. We are moving it to the soccer field this year. So we're hoping that everything will be in one spot. It'll be a great spread where everybody is right there, so it'll be easier for everybody to get in and out, as well as everybody to see everything all at once. So we just keep growing bigger and bigger and getting things going on. Every year we have lawnmower races this year. I hope that comes to tuition, as well as we have the cow plop drop. So everything will be in one spot, and I think it'll be great. So there's lots of stuff to do throughout the day, as well as the rides, all the vendors, and all that kind of stuff going on, as well as the fireworks. And we have a parade coming as well, and that starts at 11:30. It steps off at 11:30, and that will start at the firehouse on the access road, and it will go all the way to the garage this year. And then the way we're going to set it up is the stage will be almost in front of the garage, or on the side of the garage, out in the soccer field. So everything will go right there, and everybody will meet there, and we'll do our opening ceremony. This year, this summer, we had a great summer day camp. Almost every week, we had over 100 kids. So I'm hoping that next year will be bigger and better. We do have all our fall, winter programs coming up within the next couple weeks. Our two no programs are cheerleading and volleyball. That's going to be going into the schools, and that'll be going on throughout the year as well. Our Kitty Corral, basketball, Zumba classes, as well as our senior program, that all starts back after the kids get back in school, get acclimated, and get everything going there. So most of that stuff will start in October. And believe it or not, our upcoming events besides Dover Day is our Trunk or Treat, which will be on Saturday, October 26th. And our holiday fest and Christmas tree lighting will be on Saturday, December 7th. So I know it's only a few months away, believe it or not. So does anybody have any questions?
No, I just like to reiterate your thank yous to everybody. Mm-hmm. This project is a big project, bigger. Truthfully, I think it turned out to be a little bigger than we thought.
Absolutely.
But once Jason and the guys that were working down there and your staff as well got into it, we realized that certain things needed to be done or added on. Is that safe to say, Jason? And it needed to be done. And when it is all said and done,
I think
come
it's going to
spring
look
of
great.
2025,
It's going to look beautiful.
it's nothing but here we go with it, and let's make this, do whatever we need to do with that.
Yep.
And it's going to be beautiful, and it needed to be done. And I went back with past board members of 25 plus years, and not one of them ever remembered doing this.
Yeah.
So
I don't
it's
think it's been
25,
done
30
since
years
we
or
did it.
more if it's ever been done.
Yeah, I don't think it's
So-
ever been done.
For the size of that pond to be 3 feet deep in the middle,
Yeah,
it was full.
it's almost, I would say
So-
what, it's 20 feet in certain,
At the north end, it'll be somewhere around 20,
20, 24 feet,
As you get towards the firehouse, it'll be down to probably 12 to 16,
right.
depending on
But
So
it
an
slopes
average of
down,
20
so
feet
it's,
everywhere, average.
yeah. And there is some parts the long arm couldn't reach, but eventually that'll go down into there, so. But I think
Well-
it'll look great, and it's got, what, 4 more feet to go up? Once it's all said and done, about 4 more feet to come up,
Good.
so. I think it'll do
And
it,
the drainage was fixed on the south end. Thank you, Jason.
yep,
Yep.
yep. So,
Good.
I think it'll look
Thank you,
great.
Julie. Good job.
Thank you.
Highway Superintendent Jason Satori.
Jason Satori, Highway Superintendent. I'll leave the pond till last then. The town highway has been repairing culverts, catch basins, dry well catch basins, pipes, and different things like that for the past month, and will continue to do so. There's been a lot of them that are metal pipes that are coming apart and caving in here and there, so we're replacing a lot of those on various roads in Dover. Our roads have all been graded, so we're finished with that. We won't start again probably till sometimes mid-fall, towards the end of fall, to redo it for one last time before winter. Our second round of mowing is still in progress, and I'd like to thank Andrew Holmes for doing that, because he's out there all the time doing it, and it's a monotonous job, but he does a great job doing it. I'd like to thank my team and everybody who works with us for everything that they've done, their hard work and everything else. And Terry for all taking care of all my paperwork and answering the phone and telling me what to do, because I need that sometimes because busy doing other things. So I appreciate it. And the last thing I'll go on is the pond. The pond so far has been really good. A project like that probably cost close to $250,000, if not more, to undertake something, push out of the way. That was not a parking lot that we were putting in, like everybody thought it was, just moving topsoil to reuse so we don't have to buy it afterwards and cover it over. I think that's it on the pond.
Jason, if you would, just mention what's going to happen once the piles are removed, the donation from Soil and Water.
Yes, so the Dutchess County Soil and Water is going to come here afterwards, once we get everything all leveled off next year in the spring, and they're going to hydro seed everything for us for free. The county has a program that they do. We've used them before in different things at the J.H. Ketchum Park up there, and the guy's name is Brian Skorlik, great person, knows his stuff, and they try to help out any town they can, or even people. If you go to ask them, they'll take care of it for you. So yes, so they'll be doing that. So that's why I say a project like that, how much it costs and where we're at right now, because of a lot of people donating stuff to it. So it's helped
again,
out a lot.
The expenses that Jason has mentioned, everybody needs to keep in mind that that is due to the add-ons that we've chosen to do once we got into the project, and of course, the mishap with the.
Some of the machinery, we rented a bulldozer. The rec department
Yep.
rented a track truck, which was part of it. We didn't expect to use a track truck, but we did. Which things happen. You know, it's muddy, and you can't use a regular dump truck in and out of there and stuff like that, which you can't do. So our expense really has been pretty good so far. So I hope to keep it that way.
Tending machinery, equipment operator, you can contact Dover Clerk's Office, 832-6111, or by email at townclerk@doverny.us for an application. This position requires a CDL Class B license with ability to drive a standard transmission vehicle. What that means is you cannot come here and apply with an automatic endorsement only. Okay? So you can look at our social media pages and our website as well. Jason has opportunity up there. He has openings. And like he said earlier, winter's coming. Okay, report. As it was said earlier, Dover Day is coming up, the 21st. I'd like to just personally thank everybody who has sponsored it and donated towards it. Without the businesses and the residents of Dover that do put money towards this event each and every year, it would be a very expensive task, to the point where you may not see as much going on down there if we had to do it all with budget and tax money. So for those who donate, the businesses especially, thank you all very, very much. You make that day a success before we even open the gates that day, and we thank you for that. Last meeting, I brought up an issue about unloading some properties that the town has. We are moving forward on that. We'll be discussing that amongst ourselves and choosing which ones to go up and put up. So that is taking place. I was questioned about it. That's why I am putting it out there again. These are properties that the town has acquired over the years that we have no use for, or we don't plan on having any use for. So maybe it's time to put it back on the tax rolls and help us out a little bit monetarily, okay? I already did that. So the last but not least, it is the end of August, and we are going into Labor Day. I wish everybody a very happy and safe holiday, but sitting up here, we all know what happens after Labor Day. It's budget time. I had a staff meeting today and explained where I'll be coming from and how I'm approaching this year's budget. It is going to be a very tough year. We've already been advised that what's going to be increased and be prepared for increases, and we haven't even seen a letter or a number yet. So, contract obligations, everyday cost of doing business expenses are going up. So it's going to be a tough year. I let everybody know that today in our department head, in our staff meeting. Myself, my bookkeeper, Nicole Scaramuzzo, will be meeting with all department heads and particular certain elected officials this coming Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, and we are starting. October will be 2 meetings a month. November as well. The meeting schedule will be this. September 25th is our regular meeting. That is the night that the town clerk will present the budget that I present to her to the town board. That she will distribute the tentative budget to the town board. October 16th, town board meeting. That's a special meeting to discuss the tentative budget. That's what you'll be presented on the 25th. From that point on, we will go to November 6th. October 30th is our regular meeting scheduled. After resolutions, we will discuss and go through once again and adopt the tentative budget and make it into as our preliminary budget, which is the next step. At that point in time, after we adopt it as a preliminary budget, we will schedule a public hearing that night. That public hearing, in my notes right now, I'm going to go with November 6th, which is just a week later. Town board meeting, public hearing on the preliminary budget. And after the 6th, we have to change our date in November. Due to the law, it has to be adopted and approved on or before November 20th. So we will actually meet on November 20th to adopt the 2025 budget. Okay? And while I have, you can make a note, we have to change December's meeting, Madam Clerk, to the 18th because our regular night would actually be the 25th.
Okay, certainly.
So due to billing and paperwork things, not that anything will be changing. This is not a local election year for us. We will go December 18th, but we will probably have to have a reorg meeting on January 8th just to do normal business so we don't go 8 weeks in between the bill paying. Okay? So there's the schedule. And we'll talk about it again in later meetings in the future. But other than that, I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend. Be safe. Weather permitting, the fire department has their annual coin drop on Labor Day at the Wingdale intersection. And I also have a note here. We have deployed our speed feedback sign in the Woodwinds development on Sycamore Boulevard. That is a town sign. What we are doing is we are monitoring and collecting data from that sign and letting us know what's going and what's happening because truthfully, that's probably the #1 complaint road I get. So we're working on things. We have worked on, the assemblyman gave us some information on how we can go about enforcing and changing the speed laws and putting them in stone as a true legal speed limit. We're working with the town board members, the highway, and our council on that, and hope to have something new in the future on that as well. Anything else? Roy? Jan? Sue? Madam Clerk, anything? Council? Okay, we will move on. We will go to the agenda, to resolutions. Resolution to authorize and approve consent agenda items. Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby approve the following items for consideration and adoption on the August 28, 2024 meeting, Town Board regular meeting consent agenda. Authorize the payment of abstract number 8 of 2024 in the amount of $195,063.56. Accept the minutes of the Town Board meeting of July 31st, 2024. Approve the Town Clerk's report for July 2024. Approve the Town Supervisor's financial report for July 2024. Authorize budget transfers, budget amendments, and payment of off-abstract purchase orders as prepared and submitted by the town's bookkeeper. Advertise for requests for proposals for 2025 town mowing and trimming services, and accept the resignation of Highway Heavy Machinery Equipment Operator John Lane effective on September 6th, 2024. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Jackson. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Resolution awarding request for proposals for highway storage facility spray foam insulation and fire-resistant painting project. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Dover advertised for proposals for spray foam insulation and fire-resistant painting at the Town of Dover Highway Storage Facility, and whereas proposals are received, opened, and reviewed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby awards the proposal to Fairfield Insulation of Brewster, New York, in the amount of $42,895 for spray foam insulation of the Town of Dover Highway Vehicle and Storage Facility, and the amount of $8,265 for the fire-resistant painting. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Brought by Holmes, seconded by Maluta. Discussion. This is one of the last 2 phases on the garage up above us in the highway facility that was built. The electric phase is still yet to be done. That is on schedule. And this is now, if this is approved after this vote, this will be scheduled, and hopefully it'll all be done by winter time. And then another big project completed by all of us. Thank you all very much. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent. Resolution authorizing rental of dump truck for Boyce Park Pond dredging project from Parks Capital Reserve. Whereas the Town of Dover Recreation Commission has approved and has spent an expense from A. Montano Company Incorporated for the rental of a tracked dump truck for the Boyce Park Pond dredging project in the amount of $7,700 to be paid from the Parks Capital Reserve. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby authorizes an expense from A. Montano Company Incorporated for the rental of a tracked dump truck for the Boyce Park Pond dredging project in the amount of $7,700 to be paid from the Parks Capital Reserve. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover hereby authorizes a budget modification to increase expenditure account A 7110.4.400 and revenue account A 9999000 in the amount of $7,700. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluta, seconded by Jackson. Discussion?
It had to be done.
This is the Rec Commission approving this expense for this project, which they were fully behind. Again, this was the best choice because dump trucks just would not work down there. We needed track trucks because of the grade, just the mud, and it being so slippery. A track truck was a better choice. So they went ahead and they chose to do it this way and pay and approve it and pay for it. All right. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent. Resolution authorizing preparation for advertisement of bids for highway garage and library Legion generators. Whereas the town board of the town of Dover desires to obtain bids for generators for the town of Dover highway garage and the library Legion building, and now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby authorize the town engineer consultant Joseph Berger to put together bid specifications for the generators at the town of Dover highway garage and library Legion building. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Dover does hereby authorize the town clerk to publish notification of the seeking of bids for generators at the town of Dover highway garage and library Legion building based on the town engineer's bid specifications in the official newspaper of the town of Dover, as well as on BidNet. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Holmes, seconded by Jackson. Discussion. The generator for the highway garage was always a plan. The one up there that is operating just the main garage now is in dire need of replacement. It doesn't truly fulfill the need for power. And once we built the other garage up top, this became a priority, whether it was going to be this year or next. The one at the library was not in our game plan at first until the rec center referendum was not passed and failed. So the library being a cooling and warming center here in the town and advertised and used in that aspect, we felt that needed to be added to the list as well. These two will be paid for out of the remainder of the ARP money, which is rescue plan money. Whatever the difference is, myself and Jason and Julie have talked, and we will find that we have the difference if need be, but we don't feel we'll need it. So that's what this is. We want to go out. Thank you, Joe, for helping. If this is new to you tonight, then that's on me. But that's what we plan on doing, okay? So any further discussion? Any questions? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Resolution authorizing the purchase of portable restroom units for JHK Memorial Park. Whereas the town of Dover received a 2023 grant through the Dutchess County Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, to renovate public restroom facilities at J.H. Ketchum Memorial Park and Boyce Park. And whereas after initial efforts to prepare the current concrete restroom facility at JHK Park for renovation have uncovered irreparable structural deterioration of the building's front wall and interior supporting partition wall. And whereas the town has researched and proposed the purchase and installation of 2 freestanding prefabricated restroom units that can be installed, connected to the existing electric, water, and septic service at the site. And whereas after presentation and discussion with CDBG program officials, they have approved this option for the use of the awarded grant funds. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Dover hereby approves the purchase of 2 10-foot handicapped accessible portable restroom units from Container Solutions and Designs, LLC, for a total cost of $17,450. And be it further resolved that the town board authorizes the town supervisor and town clerk to prepare and process necessary paperwork to proceed with the purchases. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Brought by Maluda, seconded by Jackson. Discussion. Madam Clerk, you want to speak on this?
Sure. The resolution explains the process of how we got to this. However, I want to thank Andrew House for doing all the legwork to actually find these prefabricated units. We consulted with a local business that actually has used these facilities, so we went and actually took a look at them. We needed it to be handicapped accessible. So you'll see in your packet tonight that there's a design of how they are constructed, and They can be connected to the current services that are on the concrete pad at the restroom facility there. And it's going to be a real an innovative solution where we can provide 2 handicap restrooms at JHK Park, connected to existing services there at a reasonable price. So, and Dutchess County CDBG, who authorizes us to use the grant funds that we received, we presented and talked with them about what options we had. This isn't the first option we chose, but it was the least expensive. And then seeing one in person actually really kind of convinced us that they're fine units. So it's something that the townspeople asked for in CDBG online surveys over the years. And so this will be the solution here. At Boyce Park, we're able to rehab that former shuttered restroom down there, so that will actually be improved next month with other grant funds from this. So we'll have 3 functioning restroom units, 2 at JHK Park and 1 at Boyce Park.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions? Hearing no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent. Resolution authorizing the filing of response to appeal. Whereas the town of Dover was a defendant in an Article 78 litigation and Dutchess County Supreme Court Index Number 2023-51139, Elliman et al. Versus Town of Dover et al., and whereas the Supreme Court of Dutchess County ruled in favor of the Town of Dover, and whereas the defendants have perfected their appeal to the Appellate Division of the State of New York, Second Department, Appeal Number 2024-01167. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Dover does hereby authorize Special Counsel Rodenhausen, Chail, and Polidoro, LLP, to file a response brief in response to the plaintiff's appeal. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Brought by Holmes, seconded by Maluta. Discussion. This is an appeal. I won't go into great detail on a project off of Old Forge Road, Town of Dover in Wingdale. They have the right to do it, and we'll defend it. To defend ourselves. So, any other discussion?
Send it.
Hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, 1 absent. At this time, are there any public comments? Anybody in the public that would like to come to the podium, make any comments, ask any questions? Please come forward to the podium and speak. Seeing nobody approaching the podium. Again, upcoming meetings. The next special meeting that I asked for tonight is September 11th at 7 o'clock. The regular meeting would be Wednesday, September 25th. Then we will go October 16th. Then we will go October 30th, regular meeting, and adopt the tentative budget as a preliminary budget and schedule a public hearing for the budget. November 6th will be the public hearing on the preliminary budget and further discussion. And then November 20th, which is a week earlier, we need to meet, and that will be our regular meeting in a month, as well as the final budget discussion and adoption that night. Anything else? All right. At this time, I'd like to make a motion that we go into an executive session to discuss litigation, and we will not be returning to the dais. Do I have a second? Second. Motion by myself, seconded by Councilman Holmes, to go into an executive session to discuss litigation issues and not return to the dais. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So carried, one absent. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night and a safe holiday.
Good night, everybody.